Now we came to the point that if you go to the hatcheries in certain area, you can find 5 vaccines at day one. You will say Newcastle, IB variant, IB Massachusetts, you will find Gamboro, you will find different vaccines, whatever it's there, it's because in certain areas they give killed at what they want. Now we are in a point that the birds at the one are having a lot of vaccines. And now I will minimize my question to these type of 3 vaccines, IB and D, IB plus and D, and IB variants alone. Now you have mentioned already that where there is one has to lose. Who's strong, who's going to occupy the cells and to protect the cells and will never let other vaccines like Newcastle to get in. Do you think there is a risk on this type of mixing 3 vaccines in the hatchery, and which is Marcelo already mentioned that there are a lot of strong vaccines?
Yes, there is a certain risk, but again, we're looking for the balance. Look, a 1-day-old chick is not fully developed, and if you give too many viruses and killed vaccine, and at some point it might be that, well, it's too much for the chick, to be honest. And then there is let's say you have the ideal situation, and you have reality. And there can be a rather big difference between reality and what you find under experimental conditions, because then everything is ideal. The field is not ideal. I think we have to talk about combination and hatchery. One of the components that we should discuss as well is about what's the reliability of the vaccine application under field conditions. If this is good, then there is less urge to use the vaccine in the hatchery. If the application in the field of IB or Newcastle, in which you if you vaccinate 40,000 broilers in half an hour, you can discuss how many birds did you miss, how reliable is this, water quality, temperature, ventilation. There is a lot of variable factors that can influence the efficacy of your field vaccination. If there is so if you combine a suitable combinations of 2 IDs, a variant and a Massachusetts, which both have been examined that they can work well, then it should be okay. If you have a Newcastle IB combination, from which you know it has been shown that they can work together well, okay, then it should be, then a hatchery vaccination should be okay, because that's the most controlled vaccination that you can do. If you combine 2 IBs with Newcastle, that's 3 competitors. If you know the 3 have been examined together and it works well, well, then they should all 3 have a good efficacy. I hope your vaccine reaction will be under control, because more vaccines at the same time is more chance for a vaccine reaction that's higher than you would like it to be. But let's say if you combine 3 respiratory strains, you have more risk that at least one of them will be delayed or maybe even blocked. It really depends on the combination and also the quality of application. Okay? If you have a combination of 3 vaccines strains and one of them is weaker than the other ones, but if you apply it in the full dose in a good way, it might still be sufficient. If people apply half a dose in not a good way with the wrong droplet size, it might be that you lose too much. It will lose. So it's not black and white. It's let's say combining more is more risk for interference. But it's not that if you combine 3 strains, it will always be a problem for one of them. That's too simple.
I don't have any issue if I mix IBD in with the IB or with the Newcastle, yes?
No, in general, no, the general rule, no, don't worry about it. If you use the intermediate plus vaccines, they have been tested for safety. They do not give relevant interference with other vaccinations. So for that point, I wouldn't worry too much.